Hans Mensah Andoh for holding the fort for me while I was away burying my uncle last weekend. Well, another Saturday, another Joy Sports Link right here on Joy 99.7 FM. There is a lot to talk about, and I know you're itching to hit that keypad to call our number to speak. I know you have a lot to talk about today. No worries, we will give you the opportunity and you will talk. Welcome to the Joy Sports Link. So, well, the happenings of the last 18 hours compels us to start off this discussion about the Black Stars today on the Joy Sports Link. Now, of course, ahead of last night's friendly against Mali in Turkey, Thomas Partey was a global news item, obviously because of his multi-million-pound move to Arsenal in the English Premier League. That also sparked conversations about how Ghanaian players can position themselves well in the transfer market for big moves such as Partey's. Because, of course, since Michael Essien to Chelsea, we haven't really had any move of that magnitude. And, of course, while all of this happened, we're also looking at all of our Ghanaian talents that are scattered around the world and which of them we can assemble for the new-look Black Stars. So, following last night's 0-3 loss to Mali, there are many conversations about the enormity of the task ahead for Black Stars coach CK Akono. And just so you know, the sports page of myjoyonline.com registered 223,310 views yesterday as we brought real-time updates on the game. So I guess this settles the conversations about whether or not we love the Black Stars and have deep interest in what they do. Look, it settles it. Now, also, I'll be sharing with you some immediate reactions on our social media handles following this result. So today on the Joy Sports Link, we're taking a look at the transfer market and how well we're placed to make these kinds of moves. Do our players have the quality? Do they have the right networking in the space? But of course, paramount among all of these is where these players end up, which is the Black Stars. And once they end up in the Black Stars, what kind of performances are we expecting from them? Obviously, the start of tenure for CK Akono is one very, very rough one, based on what we saw last night. We're discussing all of it here on the Joy Sports Link. But of course, while we wait to get into that discussion and more here on the Joy Sports Link, I think it is a good time to follow the ritual of giving you a good dose of Formula One. All right, greetings to all of our friends as well who are joining us via the live stream on via the live stream on YouTube, My Joy Online TV on YouTube. Welcome to all of you. So the German Grand Prix is coming off for the first time in 7 years. Lewis Hamilton could navigate this notorious circuit to equal Michael Schumacher's record of 91 wins. But who will stand in his way? Also, Honda is leaving Red Bull as engine supplier. What's next for them? And Michael Schumacher's son is doing remarkably well in Formula 2. He's gradually following the footsteps. Well, that's what makes me welcome Kwabena Poku, convener and coordinator of F1 Ghana, and of course, immediate past president of the BMW Club, Dr. Asante Appiah. We're waiting for the day when BMW will make an entry into Formula 1 with an engine. Hey. I'm sure every time we'd have to welcome Doc with a palanquin in here. Gentlemen, it's always good to have you here in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you, Nat.
Very well. Now, so Germany is hosting the rest of the world for the first time in 7 years. And of course, immediately, everybody is talking about the track and how difficult it will be to navigate. Doc, let's begin with you.
Yeah, it is going to be very difficult and tough. I mean, yesterday they were not able to practice because of the rain. It was completely washed out. And this morning they started and there were a few spins. Some of the curves and there's what we describe as old-fashioned curves, where you must be very careful. You put your tire on it and you are off. And only 7 drivers are experienced. Only 7 drivers have previously been on that circuit. So half of the guys don't know what the whole circuit is about. It's a new thing for them. And tomorrow too we are promised rain. So it's going to be a bit chaotic. I mean, we're going to expect, red flags and maybe, safety cars, and it's going to be like a weekly lotto. Anybody can win just to be able to keep your car on the track. So we're looking for excitement.
Okay, excitement. I don't know how much of it you're expecting, Kwabena.
Oh, I'm actually expecting a lot. I mean, look, from Mensah right down to Mugello, coming down to Eiffel GP in Germany, they've not been here. They've not been there since 2013. So, I mean, based on even what happened yesterday, the fact that we couldn't even do FP1 and FP2. I mean, this morning you could see that even during practice, what's his name? Norris and Leclerc were literally racing each other. They couldn't wait to get it going, So, I mean, I'm waiting for the excitement tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting race. It's an interesting track, famous track as well. So, I mean, history could be made tomorrow, but then again, you never know.
And we're expecting Hamilton to be very nervous because some of the members in his team have tested positive for the virus.
Okay.
And this morning, Lance Stroll couldn't come to race because he was also sick.
I see.
So with all the penalties that he's been having, plus the threat of the virus, plus the threat of the rain, it looks like to make this 91 races is going to be a very, very difficult and challenging thing for him. I hope he's mentally there to do it.
Well, in terms of mental strength, he sometimes gets a very interesting dose of it. Let's see what he's able to come up with during this race, though. Let's look at a few other areas as well. I mean, the confirmation that Honda, are leaving as engine makers for Red Bull. What then will be next for them?
Well, they have alternatives. The Renaults could be standing by.
Okay.
In Formula 1, anything can happen. Before you know, Toyota is coming back.
Yeah.
Before you know, BMW is coming back. That would be exciting. But we don't know what will happen. Something will give by the end of the season.
Sure.
For me, I think they've been very, very calm about it. I mean, apparently there's some interesting clauses in Verstappen's contract and all that, which is not being disclosed. But they seem to be very calm, and I think they have something up their sleeves as backup somewhere. So it will be interesting to see them in 2022. Who is going to be producing their engines? I think they've done fantastic with the Honda engines. I mean, they've proven that they've had enough space and pace and everything. Honda has put in a lot of investments, but still, the Mex are always, on top when it comes to pace. But then again, I mean, they seem to be, for me, they seem to be very calm about it. So it means that there's something that they are cooking.
Interesting. Well, let's just quickly once again talk about the potential for wins. I mean, obviously we've talked about how it's going to be mentally tough for Hamilton, especially considering that record, the potential of achieving that record is just dangling before him as well. Now, in terms of Mercedes and Mercedes and their finishes, in previous times of the German Grand Prix, how good is it looking? I mean, considering the history.
Well, looking at this week in particular, it looks like the Ferraris are back.
Okay.
In FP3, they were third and fifth. Third and fifth. I mean, which is a very good sign. Maybe this is the rest are turning around. You never know. The Mercedes are running new engines this weekend, so we expect them to be very, very fast. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, we're looking for qualifying, and then we'll see what happens, because the Ferraris are definitely back.
Okay, so what would you, if you are pushed, what kind of projection would you give for this particular race?
This particular race, Lewis, Verstappen, and Leclerc.
Lewis, Verstappen, Leclerc. What about you, Pablo?
I'll go for Lewis, probably Bottas and Leclerc.
Okay.
I'm not leaving Verstappen out of the mix. But if it rains, that would be a Lewis day for me. If it rains tomorrow.
But okay, so while we say all of this, it's very, very interesting to note that Michael Schumacher's son is gradually getting himself into the fray. And quietly is making major, massive achievements on the second tier, which is Formula 2.
Fantastic. And he missed his chance of driving a Formula 1 car for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
Because it rained out.
Okay.
But he has all the support, all the pedigree, and the genes to back him to be a very formidable Formula 1 driver.
I see.
I mean, in Formula 1, it's an elite sport. You need a lot of money behind you, and you need a lot of pedigree. And the Germans have been wanting another very successful German.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, he's going to have the goodwill. I mean, that will be natural.
For sure, natural. The whole country will follow him. And a lot of Ferrari fans too might follow him, hoping that you end up in Ferrari.
Instead of, All right.
But it's exciting.
It's exciting. I mean, yesterday there were a lot of fans at the FP1 hoping to see him test drive the Alfa Romeo until the rain called it off and all that. In fact, him and the number 2 in F2 were both supposed to be testing. I think number 2 was supposed to test the Haas, and he was supposed to do the Alfa Romeo. So it's interesting how the crowd actually showed up to come and watch him do his thing. There were banners in the stands and everything, but the race had to be called off. He was a bit disappointed. You could tell that he was actually looking forward to it. They had actually molded the seat for him and everything. He was good to go, and he has the Schumacher name behind him, and he's proven that it's not just a name, but he's that of much of a good driver. So I'm sure Ferrari fans, the Tifosi, should be excited that there's another Schumacher coming their way.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes for them. There's also some very good news ahead of the last race of the year for the F1 viewing party for Ghana. We want to let it out now?
Oh yes. I mean, we have interesting viewing parties coming. We have about 6 or 7. This is after this one we have about 6 more to go.
Yeah.
We're going back to Labadi. We are going back to Starbites. They've been excellent for us this year, giving us exciting viewing parties. But we have major other parties coming up. Samsung is hosting a big one on the Ring Road with us at their showroom at EGL Electroland on the Ring Road. They have a very beautiful rooftop. They are hosting one over there. And we are going to Sandbox. We're going to have a full beach party for Formula 1 at Sandbox, a viewing party on the 6th of December as well. We're going to the Silver Star Towers car park for another drive-in. That's the last but one drive-in before we go to DSTV showroom for the final drive-in. So we have very, very interesting viewing parties coming on. I mean, even from tomorrow, people actually stand a chance of winning vouchers to go shopping at Skechers.
I see.
To go pick up some beautiful sneakers and all that. Those who are coming through tomorrow.
That's nice.
And we're actually going to have a fun time tomorrow after the race. I mean, good food as usual. and good food, drinks, everything coming up for tomorrow. So it will be. I mean, we have interesting
and Doc's Hallmark bottle. I mean, we don't want to be talking about the color here now.
Heineken is green in white, really.
Yeah. You mean Augasco's green?
Oh,
yeah.
That Heineken green is different from Augasco green, please.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The purple color is green. I know where it's coming from.
All right. So it's happening tomorrow at DSTV,
tomorrow
right?
at the DSTV showroom. We're opening from 11 a.m. in the morning. Come through. We have if you've not had lunch, come through. There'll be food at very, very, very affordable pricing. I mean, there'll be enough drinks. There'll be enough networking. We also have all the COVID-19 safety protocols installed over there. DSTV takes those things very, very serious. So come with your mask on and everything. Come have some fun. I mean, Joy, as usual, will be there with their team. So, and we have lots of prizes to win tomorrow. So it will be very, very interesting to see F1 fans over there. And just before we go, so we buried one of our fans.
Sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
We went for a funeral. He's just 29 years old. A very, very motorsport petrolhead.
2020 has just been, so this is the second F1 member we're losing. It was Senna Day.
Yeah, Senna Day was the first one this year, and we've also lost Abner Silfi Isel. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
And,
Amen.
May he rest in power as well.
Amen. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you tomorrow, and action begins. At what time?
The bridge
midday.
At 12:10.
10 minutes past midday tomorrow at the DSTV showroom. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Dr. Asante Appiah. Thank you so much, Kwabena Poku. Okay, so what would I say? Happy belated birthday to Joy Sports Oreku Ampofo. So it was mixed feelings. On the eve of the birthday, he had, Presec win the 6th trophy for him. And then on the birthday proper, just before we cut his cake, 3-0. Oh. But anyway, Joy Sports Oreku Ampofo together with Bill Ishan put together this very interesting article on 8 things that we learned from Mali 3, Ghana 0. So obviously it's very, very obvious that CK Akono's tenure as Black Stars coach got off to a catastrophic start after losing 3-0 to Mali in a friendly game in Turkey. It's the first time that the national team was playing in 10 months. And of course it's the first time as well that CK Akono had the chance to train with his players. But the overall performance suggests that Akono has a lot of work to do. So we'll be fitting all of this into the discussion about talents and how we're managing our talents and getting them into big spaces and getting them up to that optimum quality. Now, there is an analysis of, some of the debutants and, some of the other players who were given opportunities in this game, and you'd have to go and read that article. It's, on the sports page of myjoyonline.com, and the headline is 8 things that we learned from the 3-0 loss. So Mali 3, Ghana 0, 8 things we learned, and it's put together by Joy Sports Oreku Ampofo and Bill Ishan. Of course, you can also follow us on Twitter. You can tweet at us. It's at Joy Sports GH, and we're going to be talking, a lot. Now, let's get into some of the responses that you gave following the result. Okay, I'm just going to share with you some of them before we start, getting into the conversations. Now, I had loads and loads of, reactions from yesterday on my personal Facebook wall, and all I did was just to say, hello everybody, I want you to give me your constructive feedback about the results recorded against, in the friendly game against Mali. And boy, oh boy, you should see, the comments that came through. I'm going to share them with you very shortly, and then after that we'll get into the discussions. And of course, I'm going to activate the phone line a little earlier than normal so that you can tell me what's on your mind and what's on your heart regarding the Black Stars and what you saw yesterday and the way forward. Speak to me. We're going to activate the phone line very shortly, but I'll be sharing Facebook messages with you now. Okay, so there we go. Just before I activate the phone lines here, let's just get into your thoughts. So what did I write after the game? I wrote Ghana 0, Mali 3. I am all ears for your constructive thoughts. And these were some of the comments that came through. Princess Money says, Nat, at this point, go to sleep. Bruno Joel Akowa said, Ghana needs a mandatory check, Nathaniel Attoh. And then another one says, Theodore, this is from Theodore Mauli Viwato. He said, I hope they didn't come to say they favored the coach. I hope they don't come to say they favored the coach. Neo Q says, what else did the coach expect himself? Taking spare parts from all over but Ghana. I mean, fix in some local place they've been training even during lockdown. You go and mix okra with beans and cornflakes and milk and you want it to taste good, expect worse. Kwejo Marie sent another one that said they need more time to play together. And then Leslie Alote said, shambolic to say the least. We didn't come to the party last night. Mali came in strongly. Let's see the Qatar match and hope we make constructive analysis of the team. Nana Kojo Tims wrote, boring football. These guys don't like playing their heart out for their country. They love their clubs more than their country. Highly disappointed in them. The passion is not there anymore. Asare Erica Champong says, you see, thank God I didn't watch the game. And then Wilson Kofi Mensah Atito says, their youths couldn't be automatic starters, or at worst, the two couldn't be on the field at the same time. Secondly, the coach needs to call Jonathan Mensah to man the central defense. And secondly, lead so Asamoah can man the left fullback. Jonas Kwe Chunate says, Jordan Ayew can't be trusted as our sole striker. He never took the match serious as Asamoah Gyan would have done. Asamoah Gyan has shown his class of a striker. And as for Thomas Partey, the least said the better. Arsenal is ringing in his ears. Some more messages just before I get on the phone lines. And of course, as we go through all of this, you can send in your messages. Remember, the WhatsApp number is 055 quadruple 1997. 055 quadruple 1997. That is the WhatsApp line. Now, for the phone line, it's 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Get through to us and articulate your thoughts about how you feel about the game yesterday generally. 0302-216-541, and for the WhatsApp line it's 055-111-997. Some more of the messages that came yesterday. Musa Salifu says our boys were scared of getting injured. Michael Afram says until our academies are developed to gradually feed them into the Black Stars, this and many more will continue to happen, please. Now, Ken Deguchi says none of the players deserves to be in the team, including the coach. Shambolic performance by all standards. Philipson Ogundu Kwaku says, me, from the very day we appointed CK as coach, I knew Ghana Black Star would not perform. So these are some of the messages that came through. These are some of the immediate reactions. Okay, now let's go on our WhatsApp line just before I start picking your phone calls. Nana has sent this message and says, me, I think the Black Stars coach should be paid 25,000 Zimbabwean dollars instead of the real US dollars. That's what he deserves after losing 3-1. Well, that's your opinion. So it's 0055. So plus 23355 quadruple 1997. Plus 23355 quadruple 1997. Citizen Attoh, good show as always. That was a shambolic performance yesterday and the worst performance I've seen the Black Stars all of my short life. And did I hear CK Akono say that he wants to play the same way as the 1978 Black Stars winning team played? With this team, he should give us a break. Some players who are not even regulars in second division in Europe. I want you to give us specific details when you're sending these messages, yeah? And then it goes on to say we should just admit that we don't have the players to play top teams in Europe. Apart from Pate and to a large extent Kudus, give me another player who is at the top of his game. Watch Nigeria versus Algeria after the Ghana game, and you could see that these were top teams playing with players who are regulars in Europe. And this is from Godwin in North Kanishi. We're going to get into that discussion, and we're going to be looking at the talent pool available to us. And we'll be speaking to some of the people who are in the center of talent pool, of football talent distribution from Ghana around the world, so that they tell us what the challenges are and whether really we do have the quality. And of course, we're doing all of this on the back of this performance that the Black Stars posted against Mali. Mali are gradually becoming our masters. I mean, you look at the Africa Cup of Nations, and of course, all of the performances that have been recorded, especially over the last 5 years, you'd realize that Mali have found an antidote to the Black Stars. Well, what is it? You tell us. Let's get on the phone lines now and have this conversation before we get on with our guest for the show today. Of course, FIFA agent Oliver Arthur will be here. Hopefully, would get Hans Mensah Andoh of Joy Sports. He's the host of Fan Zone on Joy on the Joy News channel, which is free to air, and also on channel 421 on DSTV, and he'll be here as well. The CEO of Cheetah FC, Abdul Yartey, also has thoughts on the whole discussion about Ghanaian football talents in the transfer market, and how it all weaves into getting into the Black Stars and getting our very big performances. Let's now get on the phone lines. I know you've always been itching to have these conversations with us. So today we're doing it in a reverse fashion. I mean, regularly would go, after 1 hour and 30 minutes. But today we want to give you the opportunity to start talking about how you feel about everything that has gone on, especially in the last 18 hours. Hello, thank you very much for joining us on the Joy Sports Link.
Hello, good afternoon, Nat.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Abu Mohammed and I'm calling you from Japan.
Abu, thank you very much for joining us. Please go ahead.
Yeah, without disrespect to anybody, you remember when you hosted the current FA president, I told you if you want our football to be better, we should have voted for the guy who stands for Mr. Nyantechi. He was brave enough. The rest want to get the opportunity on a silver platter, and we will be exposed. You understand? So you see, this is just the beginning. This is just a friendly match. Wait until when we get to a real tournament. What happened to Brazil will happen to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's get back on the phone lines, and it's 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. And remember, we are all giving our very candid but very constructive thoughts about what happened last night. Nobody's on any agenda here. Let's be very clear on that. We don't do agenda here on this platform. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us on the Joy Sports Link.
Thank you, Matt. My name is Edward.
Edward, thank you.
Yes, I'm calling from Dansoman.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I think that coming back from the lockdown and the performance of the Stars yesterday should tell us a lot that we need to put in much effort. So, really, no one could really understand how this turned out to be the case. That should give the coach a clue as to the measures to quickly put in to salvage the situation going forward. And if it means that probably his selection was not up to it, he should probably pick his game up and do a proper selection and get us the right guys who can bring the joy back on our faces again. Thank you so much, Matt. Bye.
Thank you. And of course, good afternoon to you, Dr. Abna Entry. Glad to know you're doing the listening. And so we'll get on the phone lines once again. But remember, the WhatsApp line is 055 1111997. 055 1111997. Back on the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello,
good afternoon. You're on the Joy Sports Link.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, Nat. How's it?
Glad to be, be listening to you as well.
Is it Nat? Our coach. Something started some few weeks ago about the coach's salary being cut down.
Sure.
To sizes, and then also about the same people who are counting. That if you believe in somebody, you don't need to reduce the person to that size. So already you could realize that I think the GFA had gone to his training ground for some few time after the football has resumed its activities. Maybe they could have realized that it seems that the potential of the coach is somehow down. So that is why some of those things were happening. And that can also give or be an effect on the performance of the coach. Because many a times, that in some of these football activities, not sports in general, we have what we call implementation of projects. This is the project ahead of him, and then now he needs also to implement the skills for the first time of Black Star, playing these friendly matches this year. So I think that we cannot, I don't want to downplay or maybe say that the coach didn't do well. We should give him the benefit of the doubt. But I think that he should have lived up to expectation yesterday. Especially the changing sometimes is also another area that has to deal with his tactical discipline in looking at the game and making difference when things were going tough. But that didn't happen yesterday. But let's also hope that the GFA must also look into this salary issue. And then instead of the 4,000 that they were saying, it is too low, and to boost his morale, encourage him to see the next. I don't know, our next friendly match is between Black Star and who?
We're playing Qatar.
Qatar, that is another stubborn area. But let's hope for the better anyway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get on the phone line again. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Bishop from DC.
Bishop from DC. Okay, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, Nat. You see, this whole thing about a local coach, I was one of the voice who really is really happy for CK. But then, where he will not be given the hand to do what is expected to do to get at the results. You
feel that he's not being given the hand to do? Is that how you feel? And you have the evidence as well?
And this attitude of this Ayus is becoming unbecoming, where their youth feels like the team is for them. They are untouchable. There is nobody who is untouchable in the team. Now, for all you know, let me say this: we have players who are still and ready to contribute their quota. So-called, we say they are overage players. This particular team, I don't think it's time for us to get rid of players like Christian Attoh, Kojo Asamoah, Jonathan Mensah, Alfred Duncan, Wakasu. These are core of the team, where if we are bringing even the young ones, they can learn from these ones.
So you know about the injury situations as well, my brother. You know about the injury situations with some of these players you've mentioned and all of that, right?
Yeah,
very well.
Kojo is not injured.
Okay.
Kojo was only having issues with team, but you know what Kojo can do when he's in the national team.
Yeah.
You know what Attoh can do when he's in the national team anytime he's been called. The body language of most of these players tells us that they are not up to it. Why pull out a player like Bernard Mensah when he was very, very robust in the midfield. He was the one who was having a day. So why do you take Bernard Mensah out? Number one. Now,
can I agree before we wrap it up? Before you get to point number two, let me ask you this bit about the Ayew brothers. Now, is it to say that they haven't demonstrated form so far since football resumed to merit a place in the Black Stars?
Yesterday, Coach Christopher Nimley said something, and I side with him from City FM. Now, Nat, you could realize that Andre Ayew has not really cut off his position as a player in the Black Stars. Anytime you put him in a wing, it's either he comes back behind the striker and anytime he wants to do it, he gets a bit tired. He's way down the pedal. So it's either he starts from the bench or we try and then put him as a leading striker and then Jordan goes to the bench. Because the two of them, putting them together, I'm telling you, look at the body language of the two of them.
And you're also saying that Jordan doesn't merit the place?
I wouldn't say that. But then, anytime he's on the field, it's like it's not as if we are joking. Look at him. Look at his body language. Look at the way he plays when he's playing with. Look at the Malians. Look at how they came out. Look at what they were doing. All attacking, all defending. They were not joking. But look at you. Even to just pick up a ball, it's like and let's structure this whole national team issue.
Sure.
Either we transit this under 23 in the form of you look at the player, how he's been maturing, and then you get him to the core of it. You don't just bring about all new faces to say you are forming a new Black Stars.
Yeah.
I don't know how you watch the game, but the whole game was a bit. We are down there. I will not fault. I will not for the least said about Thomas Partey the better, because for him, I'm telling you, for all the matches he has played with national team, the Black Stars, I'm not telling. For me, I have not seen Thomas Partey in the party. I have not seen him.
Including the days when he has scored, when he has scored for the Black Stars.
Wakasu, tomorrow we combine him with Afi Akwa. Tomorrow we combine him with another player. So he wouldn't get that telepathy, that understanding between him and whoever he's playing with.
And you're saying you still haven't seen his game, even on the days when he scores for the Black Stars. You don't.
Yes, yeah. Oh, you look at AFCON. The day he even scored, you look at him. Partey as a Partey player
I don't think he had a good tournament. Exactly a very good tournament. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That one I agree. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Nat. And this so-called technical director from Germany. Come on, go and look at the CV of the man. We have hands here that can do that.
Okay.
We have hands here.
So that will be.
So let's give let's give CK free hand. Let him operate.
Okay.
If I know with CK he would have called Christian Attoh, Kojo Asamoah, He would have called Jonathan Mensah.
So
even Harrison Affle.
So you are suggesting
he would have called those guys. Then probably add one or two materials.
Very well. So you are suggesting that CK's hands are tied as he continues to do the job. That's what you're saying.
Come on. He said yesterday, Coach Nimley said it.
Okay.
He said he would have mentioned one from 1 to 10, about 10 or 11 players who are being managed by Ketokriku. And for that matter, they must be in the national team. That is the kind of business they want to do there.
Okay. Let's we would have this conversation. We'll give the opportunity to a few other callers so that they can come in. Thank you so much. Would have that conversation later. 0302216541. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yo, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
This is Bill calling from Beachley.
Okay, Doc. Good to have you.
Yeah, you have kept me for more than.
Oh, so sorry. When it comes to the Black Stars, people are so passionate, and
we are all very passionate about it. Yesterday, it was so sad for some of us who have followed football in this country. There was nothing like Ghanaian football that we know. And I don't know what is happening to the boys. Like the gentleman who just spoke said, look, we are fed up with these Are you brothers? They have actually reached their peak. You see, they have reached their peak. So now they will be descending. And that is what is happening. But because of the name, we always put them there. And all the coaches are making the same mistake. No good scouting. I'm telling you that we can get the Black Stars only from Tema. We can get it from Mamprobi.
Probi in Dafa Park.
Hello?
In Dafa Park, Mamprobi.
Yes. We can, because there's no, when you go and watch these young, strong, energetic boys, some of them, they don't have people to push them. So we have to do proper scouting. Not that you have had the chance and you have gone to Europe, then they go and bring you there. And then if they are not playing in the first divisions, most of them are playing in the second divisions and the third divisions there. Then we'll come and assemble them. And then our coaches can't control them, and then they do what they want. We are all looking forward to see the Black Stars that we used to know. The Yegola them, Georgia Lassan them, who went and brought this last African Cup. Since then, 1982, up to today, we go, we don't get nothing.
Very well.
Then why should it be so? So for me, what I'm trying to say is that there should be good scouting. The most important thing, we should have about 4 or 5 different teams to serious competition, serious competition, and then out of that, we select the best to go and then not living on names. Some young men today can come and then go and win a cup, like 82. Where were they camped? They just picked them. The last time, that time, what active football was he playing? And then even Asia and the rest. You see, the Andoh farmers and the rest. You see, so we want people who love Ghana, who want to make, not people who have made name, and we always chase them, and they come and disappoint us. Thank you for the opportunity given me.
Thank you for expressing your thoughts as well. Let's get back and speak to one more or 2 more callers. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good to have you on the Joy Sports Link.
Yeah, this is Kaba from Legon.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, looking at it, the coach and his assistant want to fail. And people from the GFA would help them to fail. Your first match, your system is new. You are new. Your first match, and you do away with the old team. Why? I was thinking that you would call him and ask him if other players are far away or injured. What about Afriakwa and then Duncan, Alfred Duncan? Yesterday, you look at the midfield. Defenders, they don't know how to defend. Look at the Malian team. I don't know any of their old players among the Malian team. Then look at the kind of game they played yesterday. You are saying when they are talking and for no we say that we are better off. There's coaches in Ghana. How can you start this way? You know, Black Stars is the heart of everybody in Ghana here. And just yesterday, I don't even know what was going. 3 goals, Mali, and there's no old player in Mali's team.
Okay.
They should sit up. They should just sit up. If not, that people will help them to fail.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. 0302216541. So after this call, I will hold it. We'll have a conversation, and then we come back later onto the phone lines. But remember, you can send in WhatsApp messages in the meantime. 055-1111-997. 055-1111-997. All right. Hello. Good afternoon.
Fine afternoon, sir.
Can you lower the volume on your radio set? We're getting a bit of feedback in there. Okay, so yes, please go ahead and tell us what your name was first. Yes, please go ahead.
Please, I'm Fifi calling from Kofodia.
Fifi, welcome.
Yeah. Please, do you know that there is a saying in account that penny the penny?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so it's up to the coach. What is the free acquires Adiman Berdu and who were in Black Stars already? It's up to the coach. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So I would hold the phone calls for now. There are so many messages also buzzing and looking for space on our WhatsApp console. One of them is from Nicodemus in Wa. He says our players played their hearts out. They only need more time to play together. Okay, so your opinion here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll be getting into camp, a morning after the game to gauge the mood. Multimedia correspondent Songo Patrick Osei Ajiman is there, and we'll be touching base with him very shortly. We'll also be speaking to Gary L. Smith and Hans Mensah Andoh of Joy Sports as well on their analysis on everything that has been said and the kinds of reactions that have come after our coverage of this game between Ghana and Mali. All right, so let me get some initial thoughts from FIFA agent Oliver Arthur. Oliver Arthur is a celebrated and seasoned FIFA agent who is known for transporting, or if I may put it better, giving players opportunities in many parts of the world. When you go to the Italian Serie A, for instance, some of our biggest performers had to go through or had to be discovered by Oliver Arthur, and he runs the Arthur Legacy, consultancy, which is a FIFA recognized agency. Oliver, it's great to have you here on the Joy Sports Link.
Hi, Nat.
Great to see you.
Good afternoon.
My Trofeo brother.
I know.
Yeah.
Trofeo is still on. We're still in Italy, running up with the market that we had, and
very good.
Preparing to come home.
Very good. You have to come home. It's been a while, and of course we also have to be preparing for the Cultural Trade Ball, which celebrates all of our. Yeah.
I think because of the situation with COVID and all that happened, I think that next year we might not have the Cultural Trade Board because we want to make sure everything is in place now to start events well before we put in place. And also, that the leagues are not very effective, so I don't think that we need to do the awards at this time.
Okay, Oliver, good to have you. Look, I'm sure that you've first of all, after monitoring the game, you have heard everything that football fans around the world of Ghanaian blood and Ghanaian interest have been saying concerning this game. I mean, I'm sure you've also listened to the fans who have spoken today after, just when I started the show. And today we decided to start off with the phone-in segment. What do you make, first of all, of the general reactions to the results against Mali?
Yeah, I think that, we all supporters of the Black Stars, so on hindsight, it's a bad result for everybody. Nobody will be happy for a 3-0 thrashing of the Black Stars. But let's look at it in a different way. I don't know what accounted for the total overhaul of the team. Okay, if you try to put all the experienced players out and you start with a new team, this is the result you would get, definitely, because one, the team is not, there's no blend, okay, and two, also there are young players coming up. A lot of them has not even played in Africa before. A lot of them have not played with their colleagues, African players, before. So the blend is not there. And what I think is taking away all the experienced players. I think gradually they should have brought these guys in gradually, okay, and then you fade away the senior players. But to have a total new team, I think we had 7 debutant new people starting in the team, and you don't expect to have that cohesion and that blend in the team.
Yeah. So do we? I'm glad that you've put all of this in perspective from the point of view that, look, we're starting a process. Okay. Now, there are those who have spoken about the regulars in the team and how we should bring them in and all of that. Well, I'm just imagining a scenario where the regulars played and we still recorded that result. Is it a thing with football fans who just rant when it goes wrong and we just quickly skin?
Exactly, because I think that the what do you call, administrators or those at the helm of affairs shouldn't listen too much to the fans and the route and how we go about. For example, somebody called and said, all the youth players, they've read their peg, they should be out. How old are they? When you look their ages, I don't think that they should be faded out immediately. You know, what I think is that we need to have young players understanding them and being part of the team. Okay, so he plays 70 minutes and a young player comes and plays 30 minutes. Okay, it has to be gradual fading out. But we are the ones who would say, oh no, Wakasu cannot play again, or this one cannot play. And then when we take them out and we bring the young ones and we attract 3-0, we also say no, the young team cannot. So for me, it's both. We have to do it hand in hand. You know, you bring the little older guys and then you join with the new ones coming up. And one thing that the FA is doing that I would say they're doing well is to look for those young players who were not born in Ghana, those who started football from Europe that are learning. You know, in Europe, the strategy of learning or the system helps kids to learn from the age of 12. Okay, so they learn the play. But when you bring them in and you want them to be the total blaster, fading out all the senior players, then it's a big problem.
You know, the bit as well about talent and the quality of the talent pool. You have been working with talents. You are in the business of giving talent opportunities in other parts of the world. Do we have the next set of world beaters? Let me just put it that way, from where you sit.
When you talk about talent and the business of talent, let me look at the business aspect. I don't know whether anybody has looked at it, but when you put a blaster first 11, okay, let's take Thomas Partey out because he just had a big move. So when you take Thomas Partey out, the rest of the team, our net value is not even 25 million. Okay, so if you have a team that the net value is not even 25 million euro, then you should tell you the quality. You don't need to be a technical person. You don't need to be technical to know that a lot of your players are 200,000, the value 800,000, 500,000, 1 million. So that should tell you the value of our players. Okay, somebody will say technically this one knows how to kill this one, but I don't want to go to the technical aspect because I'm an agent. I look at the business aspect, I look at the transfer aspect. So I use the figures, and a player worth Thomas Partey is 40 million. 40 million Thomas Partey automatically tells you the level of the player.
Sure.
When you take out Thomas Partey, our next level is Jordan Ayew, who is 10 million. Then you come down 5 million, 2 million, 1 million, 200,000. A player worth 200,000, and you put him in the blaster, you know the value. You know the level of the player. So I think that the fans shouldn't expect so much from a team like this. Because now, when you take a Senegal team and you put a Senegal team down, it is worth over 100 million, 200 million, and even more. Okay, so if a Senegal team is worth 200 million or 300 million, and a Black Star team total adding Thomas Partey is like 50, 60 million, then it should tell you the difference straight away. Okay, you know the difference between the two teams when they stand on the field. So we shouldn't expect so much from the team. I think if we're going to use this team, this young team, then it means we need to give the Black Star time. We need to give them 3-4 years for them to develop. But we don't expect this team, which is worth the exception of Thomas Partey, worth 25 million, 20 million, the total team, 20 million, I expect such a team to be able to perform miracles. It doesn't happen that way.
Oliver Arthur is a FIFA agent, and he surely is big in terms of talent business, Ghanaian talent business around the world, especially in the Italian market. He has his claws very, very well sunk in there, doing analysis on some of the reactions that have come through, and and generally where the fans stand regarding what we will call the new look Black Star, or what should be the new look Black Stars team going forward. Remember, you can send in your messages. It's 055-1111-997. 055-1111-997. We'll be getting on with Oliver in a little bit, but also we'll be getting through to Patrick Oseajiman Songo, who is the host of Fire for Fire on Adum TV and on Asempa 94.7 FM. He covered the game for the group, and he will be giving us some post-game reactions and what the feel is like in camp, what the players have been saying following this game, and then we can also come in-house for some more analysis. We'll also be speaking to Hans Mensah, Andoh, host of Fan Zone on the Joy News channel, and of course Gary Al Smith, who will also be doing some analysis on what we've seen generally and what's been happening, generally. Okay, now we've been talking about the placement. I mean, positioning our players well for big moves like what we saw with Partey. Now, let me just immediately ask this. I mean, how good are we looking? I mean, based on, for instance, the work that you in your small corner in quotes have done, how good are we looking, to be able to register similar moves in the future, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years? Because a lot of work has been done with younger players, in the last 5 years, for instance. How good are we looking, Oliver?
Okay, so I think that is where we're a bit late, but like you're saying, a lot has been done in the past 4 years, 5 years. We're a bit late when Mali and Senegal and the rest started getting the young players to be in Europe at early stages. Okay, people would say, but why do you move our best talent to Europe? My question is, which facilities can develop in them in Ghana? Which coaches can develop in them? So if you have a top talent, a Michaelasian talent, and he stays in Ghana and he gets to the age of 22, 23, trust me, he cannot develop to the level of Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey got to Europe at the age of 18, 19, okay, and that is where the real development starts. When you ask the question about are we going to get there? Do we have? On my part, in my small corner, I can tell you that Alpha Legacy has the next Michaelasian, the next Sule Muntari, the next Asamoah Gyan coming up, because we've invested in very young players who started their football at the age of 17, 18 in Europe, and they're now building up and they're developing. Ghana, we now started. Wafa is doing a great job with the club that he has now. So most of the young players, most of the players from Wafa can go to Europe at the age of 18, 19, and they can develop. We can see that in, I think there's a guy called Kamel, and you can see that in Kudus. Okay, so we'll be getting those players in the next 4 or 5 years. I'm sure we'll be getting a lot of the parties, but now we don't have it. Now we are not there. I don't think that our expectations should have been so high with the Blaster, because we are not there. If we want the results, then we should blend with the old player. We shouldn't leave the Wakasu with free aqua. We shouldn't leave them. We should blend it. But if we're going to leave them, then we're not there yet. Then we shouldn't expect results. So it's two things. If we want results, then we should still go for the old one. If we don't want the results now, then we should develop this one whilst we wait for the project that is on. Because I'm sure what Wafa is doing now, in the next 3-4 years, we're going to get a lot of these young ones coming up from Northern that are going to, because when they enter into Europe at the age of 18, develop a little bit in Lodgeland, and then they move to the IRs and the rest, then you're going to see the different blaster. You're going to see the real blaster. But now we are not there yet. So we shouldn't push too much. Our expectations should be so high. That's what I think. I don't think that we need to put all the blame on the coach. The coach has done it. He shouldn't be blamed for all this, because frankly speaking, like I said, you can't put a team that is worth 20 million to expect these big results.
You can't put a team that's not worth, that's just worth about 20 million to get the big results. These are the words of Oliver Arthur. He's a Ghanaian FIFA agent, and he is one of our contributors to the show today. Hans Mensah is here with me in studio. Very shortly we'll be listening to him. But let me do this message from Aniu Sabute. Greetings and good work on the DK Poison interview. Great work on the DK Poison documentary. On this Black Stars issue, I think it will be unfair for fans to begin questioning the salary he's on because he's lost a match. How do they think he was going to assess and know the strength of the players if he didn't play such games to enable him see the work ahead? The team isn't as solid as we think, but I'm confident that CK can get the best out of them. Let nobody come and say we need a foreign coach, because then we should hand over the entire FA to foreigners to run. Give CK time. This is from Ani Osabute. Now, there's this one from Sir Prempe in Legon. The stodgy performance from the Black Stars was mainly due to inexperience and many debutants. I still believe in the coach. All right, thank you very much, Sir Prempe in Legon, and continue to do the listening. We're glad that you're always tuned in. Now, bad performance from the Black Stars team. We need committed players. This is from Ephraim. Ephraim, thank you very much. There's this one from Anthony Ni Ajeti Ajay from Agona Swedru. Not it's early days yet. When last did this squad play together? Let's get about 5 to 8 maximum matches and be well informed on a discussion on this rebuilding exercise. Thank you very much for that message there. There's this other one that says it's from Ifya Yeboa in Osu. Ifya Yeb, sorry, in Osu. Says, I think CK and the Black Stars should be allowed time to get themselves fixed, and they will pick up. It will be better with a little time. No rush, no rushing them now, please. Now, Astamajan is still playing and must be brought back to the Black Stars, but if he isn't part of the team. Good afternoon. Okay. And then he says, I wanted to go with you to Kempinski with Josephine Urinchi, but you overtook me. Okay, Ifya, don't worry. Better, bigger days are coming, so don't worry. We'll do lunch with you soon, and good luck. You probably would win the next time. Good afternoon. I love the Joy Sports Link. Keep up the good work. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for that message. Okay. Okay. Now, let us get the thoughts of Hans Mensah Andoh for starters, and then we will also speak to the CEO of Cheetah FC, Abdul Yartey, on the phone. We'll also get Gary Al Smith and his thoughts on this one. Okay, Hans, good to have you.
Hi, glad to be here.
Okay, good to see you. Look, you are the host of Fan Zone, our fans-oriented show on the Joy News channel. Tell me what the reactions were like last night when you got on air. Tell me.
Interesting. I mean, mixed, I should say. There are a lot of people who, understandably would begin to panic and call for drastic measures, from the coach and the handlers of the Black Stars. There are those who feel that, it's good we give certain new players an opportunity to assess what they can offer. You can only do that in some of these friendly matches, and so it's all good. At least the coach has a clear picture as far as players he can call and players he cannot call up going forward is concerned. And then there are those who simply feel that CK Akona is simply not up to the task, and that yesterday's result was merely a confirmation of what they've long suspected or believed, So the reactions have been mixed. I think there are a lot of Ghanaians are erring on the side of caution, in terms of calling for the head of head coach CK Akono. But what I got from all the reactions that I got is that people are worried. People are worried because it's a first game for CK Akono, and I mentioned it on Paul's yesterday on the Joy News channel that a good performance and results was only going to whip up confidence in the coach from the wider Ghanaian public and even the playing body, and that didn't happen. And so people are worried as to what the tenure of CK Akono is going to be like. People are worried again because they realize that there is a team in transition and that stability is required in the technical department. And so if CK doesn't perform and there is a need to change him, it only sets the progress of the team back, because you're going to have a new man coming in and implementing his ideas, which is going to take time. So there's a sense of worry among Ghanaians. Whatever the opinions are, people are quite worried, and it has to do with the performance that they saw. And also the fact that for a lot of people, they wanted to see, for a new player who has been handed a call-up, handed a starting bid, they had wanted to see a bit more commitment and ability on their part to convince the coach and Ghanaians that I'm here on merit. Okay, so there are people questioning the basis upon which some of the players were even called up in the first place. So those were some of the comments and reactions that I picked up on Fan Zone yesterday.
All right, Hans Mensah Andoh is the host of Fan Zone on the Joy News channel, weekdays 10:30 p.m. He's here with me in studio. Let's get on the phone line and speak to Abdul Yartey. Abdul Yartey is CEO of Cheetah FC and also is at the helm of player development. He joins us with his thoughts as well. Abdul, thank you so much for your time. It's been a while.
You're welcome.
Great. Now, let's start off from the happenings of last night. I mean, you watched the game, and I'm very sure that you have thoughts, because over here on our side, we've received a lot of feedback from the football fans about quality and talent, and whether really we do have the talent, there. But first of all, your general thoughts on the game from where you sit as a key stakeholder in football.
Well, just as you said, as a key stakeholder in football, I would say this is very normal, especially so when you actually trying to put up a new team. These are things that you should expect. It is the coach's first time, Duncan, and then CK Akono. This is their first game that they are playing. And most of the players are playing the first game as well. So we have to be very patient. And I think these are some of the results we will expect when we want to build a team.
Okay, now the talk about quality and whether we really have it, that also has come up. Now, where do you stand on that as well, without necessarily using this game as a yardstick?
Well, I would say our quality as a nation have dropped as compared to some 4 or 5 years back. The quality have dropped.
Why would you say that? Is it that the people at the grassroots level are not doing enough to go and fish out these talents, or it is the technical people who are not doing their job right to develop the talents, or that they are not getting the right places and the right environments to play their football in, whether it's here or it's outside of the jurisdiction?
Well, it is the combination of everything that you said. Ghana is blessed with a lot of young talent, natural talent, but our inability to actually properly guide these players to the top, and some factors that actually cause these facilities, technical know-how, and the right advices to be given to our young players. You see a very talented young player at age 10 years, 11, 12 years. By the time the player grows up, he loses the talent because we are not able to properly guide these players to the top. So I think it's a combination of all what you've actually said that have actually caused us not being able to produce quality players at the top.
In going forward, from what you say, it's a matter of time. How much time do you want us to give CK Akono in figuring all of this out from where you sit once again?
Well, in regards to CK, I actually think he had little time with the players. If I'm not mistaken, they had about 3-4 training sections, which was his first time. That is not enough for him to impart his philosophy into the boys. So I think he will need about 4-5 friendly games, and with that, then we can actually grade him according to that the next result that we actually come out with.
Very well. Now, Hans will ask one question before we let you off. Yeah, please go ahead, Hans.
Abdul Yartey, I think he's one of the men that we need to celebrate in this country in terms of talent development.
Yeah, great, sure.
I happen to have been coached by him back, in junior high school. I attended the same junior high school as his brother Ishmael.
Ishmael, wow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
my brother actually played for his coach team back in Castle. That was back in the day, the boys.
Wow.
I don't know if he remembers.
Charlie. Played. And your talent, you can't sit behind this microphone and you have blabbing. Charlie, this guy.
What I want to find out is we've seen the transfer of Thomas Partey, from Atletico Madrid to us. A lot of people are excited. 45.3 million pounds. The question people keep asking me is, these deals do not come regularly, despite the abundance of talent in this country. Again, people point to some of the local deals that we see to other parts of the African continent where players are going for maybe $100,000, $200,000. How do we churn out players of the quality of Partey who can command the £1 million deals that we've recent in the Thomas Partey deal?
Well, I would say it is a whole factor, just as I said earlier on. First of all, I want to speak about the pattern of election. I've been electing the president of the Ghana Football Association and then the ESCO. You have 18 premier clubs voting. You have 48 Division 1 club voting. And then you have 10 RFA chairmen voting. There is no vote that comes from grassroots football. So when these presidents and ESCO members come into office, they actually concentrate on the Premier Division, the First Division. That's where their concentration is actually based. But the main problem that we have in Ghana in terms of football development is the grassroots. If you don't have a solid grassroots development, then the roof of the building is not going to be strong. Now, and that is the reason why, for me, if I have any very good talent at a very young age, I want the talent to go out of the country. I took Christian Achu when he was 17 years. I took him to FC Porto. In FC Porto, you are sure of quality development, dieting, medicine, everything is assured. I took Tuku out very early as well. The same can be said of Alassane Wakasu. You keep the players in Ghana. Facility, no. Technical know-how, don't get me wrong. It is not compared to what we have outside. Dieting, you see a player after a good game going to take Banku and Tilapia, Kenke and Pepe. You understand? The recovery is very bad.
Yeah.
The player is injured. So these things doesn't help the development of our talent. If we have to do so, then it means that the FA president or the FA need to give 60% of football development to the grassroots, being it the coach team, U12, U15, U17. That is where our focus needs to be. Fortunately for us, I think there are a lot of AstroTurf being developed, or a lot of pitches being developed. Let's make use of it. The coaches at the grassroots will find it very difficult to be able to pay, let me say, 800 Ghana cedi, 1,000 Ghana cedi to go for a calf license course. This is what we need to do. We need to give coaching courses at the grassroots free or find sponsors to actually help develop our coaches. Because you get to a coach club, they have about 100 players. They have about 30 players in the U12. They have 30 players in the U15, 30 players in the U17. And then there is one man who calls himself the owner of the club, the coach of the club, the secretary of the club, and he coaches all these players. And what are we talking about? Probably before you realize they have only 5 balls or 10 balls that these 90 players are actually depending on. So till all these things are actually taken care of, then we will have to be selling our players at 400,000 and then the 500,000 to go out. And then we don't expect the 55 million, 45 million transfer fee in the future. But if these things are taken care of, then it is very much possible for us to get a player leaving the shore of Ghana that will actually command the fee of 1 million euros or 2 million euros. And then in the future, we can talk about 100 million euros coming in. But if we don't do this, then we should be content with what we are getting.
So if I get you right, you are calling for a total overhaul of our youth development policy, or maybe drawing up an entirely new development policy that, suits our needs and current challenges, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
It is very good now we have a technical director in place. It should be a stakeholder meeting involving every or representation of every juvenile club region, and then let's come to draw a map as in what direction we actually want Ghana, or what system we want Ghana to play, and then how we want Ghana to play. And then when we have that direction, then it will be up to the technical director and 8 directories to actually look at how we're going to supervise and ensure that that direction that we have is being followed.
Now, finally, a part of that discussion, key, will be, a question that a lot of people have been asking, and it has to do with this whole debate about coach football and the academy system. Given our unique needs as a footballing culture, which one should we lean towards in terms of developing a juvenile football model? Should we keep up with the coach football system? Should we have a hybrid of the academy system and the coach football system? Which direction should we be moving?
For me, I would say the coach system is like those days we have in Center. The coach system is gone. Anybody who thinks that we can bring coach back because we got the likes of Atamuajan and co from coach is going to try very hard. Those days, go to the Center, you go to busy internet, but now we have the internet on your phone. So nobody go to Center, nobody go to busy internet to browse. That is how football have gone. Coach football, you have Mighty Victory. As I was saying earlier on, Mighty Victory is being run by one individual who take care of the physical aspect of the players, the dieting, the coaching aspect, secretarial job. It is being done by one man. In the academy system, which is something that is being adopted all over the world, you can talk about the Red Bull Academy, and even when you come to Ghana here, then Fire North and now Wafa, these are academies that have actually produced a lot of very good players. And then they did this, having people who have specialized in medicine, in nutrition, in the physical ability of the players, the technical know-how. So when we talk about academy, it's a whole big, broad
area.
Area.
Sure.
You understand? And that is what we need for our young players to develop, because these players need to go to school. They need to be taught football lessons.
Great. Look,
so
we
if you are talking about coach help, this, that. The coach system for me, I think, is gone. And if you want to rely on coach to develop your grassroots football, it will not help.
Okay. This obviously is a very big note on which we'll wrap up the part with Cheetah FC CEO Abdul Yartey. A lot of food for thought, because there are efforts already to revive the coach system, and I guess that this opens it up for us to have another conversation at another date on this subject. Thank you so much, Abdul Yartey. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you as well. You're welcome.
Well, Abdul Yartey is CEO of Cheetah FC, responsible for the likes of Christian Achu and all of that. He's made mention of all of them as well. Now, Oliver Arthur is still with us. He's joining us via Zoom. Here with me is Hans Mensah Andoh. On the phone, joining us on the phone very shortly will be Gary Al Smith. Now, Reverend Ismaila Awudu of ICGC Yahweh Temple East Legon has sent me this message. He says, my brother, I'm listening to you. On the issue of the Black Stars performance, I think one of your guests, if I heard him right, was alluding to the performance to player value. But respectfully, I don't think that is a strong factor. Performance of a team is based on tactical play, wisdom to read the game, and flexibility to switch the game plan on the field, experience and maturity of the players being fielded, motivation, rapport between the players and the coach, etc. Now, the current Black Stars team is young, and the motivation is a challenge. If we owe our coaches and players, then payment is an issue, then we need to think again. Also, on the long absence of the Black Stars team training together are also factors. So I don't think we should be so hard on Coach CK and the Black Stars. Thank you very much, Reverend Ismaila Awudu of ICGC Yahweh Temple, East Legon. We lost Gary on the phone. We'll try to raise him again.
Here.
Oh, you are here. You are still here. Okay. We can get some beep sound in there, please. Okay, great. Gary, thanks for joining us. Now, we were all discussing this game, last night. This morning we've also been discussing it. And I'm going to throw the same question to you, something I've already asked all of our guests on the show. Look, how do you gauge all of these thoughts by the fans generally on all of our platforms, and how people, generally have received this result?
I mean, generally everybody is disappointed with the way the game went. I don't think that is in doubt, but what people don't agree on is whether to blame CK and to, as is the case with many people, start calling for his head already because of one game. And that's why I tend to agree with the Rev, who sent that comment, the final comment, Nathaniel, that it's really is a game that was played in very, very odd circumstances. The build up to the game, how everything has gone, So I am very, very sure that I am willing to give CK Akono the benefit of the doubt on this one, because yes, we could have done better, but just look at the history, especially the recent history we have had against Mali. And considering that we say we want to practice a Black Star system where we can use friendly matches, we seem to be having a culture of that, especially with Kwesi Appiah 1 and 2, Kwesi Appiah Part 1 and 2. We had a culture of bringing in new boys in to make their debut, to see what they have in store for us. And so with that in mind, CK Akono made a couple of those and gave them a run out for their money. Now, those guys largely did not perform. And so it is quite clear that on that side, he will know that, okay, I saw these guys and they have not performed, and so probably next time I'm not going to call them in. Other national teams, Nathaniel, do not do that. I mean, for them, the national team is the place where already made players are going to be brought in, and every game has to be won. There are national teams like that. But our case is not that way. And so I understand the frustrations of a lot of fans who felt like, yeah, we should have gone in to win this. But again, what kind of opposition are we facing? Remember, Mali have beaten us under 17, under 20 at almost every level in the last 4 or 5 years, including the senior level. anybody who has followed football a bit is quite clear about the fact that Mali are having an incredibly good transition system, something that we used to be good at but are not doing. You can clearly see. Now, the guy who scored a third goal or so, he was the same guy who knocked us out of the the 2019 Under-20 World Cup qualifiers. That same guy. It is that same guy. They are transitioning of players into the senior national teams. Is something that has been so great, even at the women's national team level. The players that we saw at the women's WAFU here are players that we have previously seen in under 20 and 23 and so on and so forth. So because of all these factors, I am personally willing to give Siki Akono the benefits of the doubt. And of course, I know people don't want to hear it, but because of the COVID and everything, how the players were called, the fact that we did not have certain players coming in because their clubs would not release them, and so on and so forth, all played a role. Do we know whether CK wanted to play Partey really as a defensive midfielder, and he was unable to do it and so played him in an advanced role? Do we know that if Kudus Mohammed had come into the team, he would have paired Partey in a certain fashion that would have allowed Partey to play defensively so that Kudus would have gone ahead? Like, we don't know. But I am really to just give CK the benefit of the doubt in this one and only say it is just one game. Hopefully, he has better in store for us coming.
Gary, thank you. So let's see. You're giving him but benefit of the doubt is how long before you go?
Well, again, because these are extraordinary circumstances. I mean, the real meat will not even be in the Qatar game, but it will be in the learnings that Tiki will get from playing both Mali and Qatar, and then in the Sudan qualifiers, home and away, next month. I think for me, after the two games, this one and the Qatar game, I am done giving him the benefit of the doubt because he clearly would know, how he will at least want to assemble a team for the Sudan doubleheader next month. So after these two, if you ask me how long, it's done for me.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Gary, wonderful weekend and have some watching on us.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Have some watching on us too. Yeah. All right.
Gary makes an interesting point about transition, and see, part of our problem is how we've still not been able to grasp how to properly transition our players from one level to another. We've seen it. There's a historical feel to it because we've seen it before. We are in a place where players will not willingly say that I think that my time with the national team is done. And then add to that, we also find ourselves in a situation where these players who have come to the end of the road will not retire and have people who are backing them within the setup, putting pressure on the coach to be calling up these players. Look, the national team is nobody's bona fide property. You come, you serve your country, your time is done, you move on.
Hans, what about you make a very important point here, and I think it's apt. But what about the bit of rushing our players, and pushing our players out of retirement? I remember very well that I don't know whether it was this last World Cup qualification for Russia, but then someone said to me, you see, you people, were saying that Richard Kingston was whatever. This guy is still, you go see him training his players and all that, and I think he can still play and he can still. How do we balance all of these?
Reverend Osekofi can still play. Mohamed Polo can still play. You understand me? But I'm saying that it comes to a time when we need to look forward. And in looking forward, certain hard decisions must be made. I am not saying that we have to forcibly retire players. I don't care if a player is 99 years old and is capable. Ultimately, you have got to look at the form of a player as a basis for calling a player into the national team. So if the player is 99, the club form suggests that he can deliver for the Black Stars, by all means, call that player. But, naturally, it gets to a point where, as a human being, your body will not be able to take the workload that it used to be able to take. You are playing for a club, you are playing for a national team. When it gets to that point, you either walk away or somebody in charge of the team must say that, we have to phase out somebody for you to come in. It's time for us to phase you out for somebody else to come in. And that's all I'm saying. That we are not handling the transitions well. And I'm saying it's happened before because we saw in 1998, okay, after we have failed to qualify for the FIFA World Cup in 1998, in 1997, there were certain players who should have made the decision themselves to retire from the national team. Guess what? They decided to stay on. Made their way or forced their way into the squad for the 98 Africa Cup of Nations. It was a disaster. And then afterwards, I think they realized that their time had indeed come to an end. I am saying that we've gotten to a point where certain players need to be phased out. It doesn't mean that you wholesale, you need to throw them away. Blend them by all means. But this is how you do it. You call them up, you give them 30 minutes, you give a young player 30 minutes, gradually you reverse it. You start a young player and bench the experienced player, bring him on later on. We are not having those variations. I think players stay a bit too long in the national team. Look at the German national team. After the 2018 FIFA World Cup, Joachim Low says that, look, player A, B, C, D, your time is up. We need to bring in fresh players. The German national team is not as good as it used to be when they won the 2014 FIFA World Cup. But guess what? They are going to make strides in the next 2-3 years. By the time the next World Cup comes around in 2022,
they'll be good to go.
They'll be good to go. Those are the things that we need to be doing. There's nothing wrong with saying that a player's time with the national team is up. By all means, let's not be too quick to label players old players. The yardstick, okay, the standard has to be their performance for their club side. If they are performing for their club side, if they are 45 years, 100 years, it shouldn't matter. Let's call them up. But if the club form is not good, and we can link it to where they are at the point of their careers, then the hard decision must be made. It's like the eagle, how they share their feathers. If you don't share your feathers, you are not going to grow new feathers to be able to soar. And for me, it is that simple.
Hans Mensah Andoh, host of Fan Zone on the Joy News channel. And of course, we'll do final comments from Oliver Arthur, who's joining us via Zoom. Oliver, you've heard of all of the comments and all the contributions to this discussion. One thing that excites me, which I'm very confident about when it comes to Arthur legacy, is that we are going to see the next set of Michael Essiens, in the next few years.
That is true. That is very true, because we're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. We put in a lot of young players who are going to come up very soon. We're going to hear the new replacements for the Black Stars, like your colleague just said that the eagle, you have to the feathers all cannot go at the same time, okay? But so you shed some, and then new ones come up. So the new ones is what we are hoping that, and I think that the solution for this Black Star thing is gradual fading out, and I think that everything is going to go well.
All right. Thank you very much. We're very grateful to you for joining us. And of course, these are conversations we're going to have. And of course, when you're flying back, fly back safe. And greetings to the family as well, Oliver.
Okay, thanks.
Very well. Oliver Arthur is the CEO of Arthur Legacy. He is a licensed FIFA agent. For now, the biggest to have come out of Ghana, doing great stuff and, doing great things. Let me read some of your messages as we get towards finish line here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. Okay, this one is from Azobli Jacob in Midia. The match yesterday shows the real problem of the Black Stars will be having when they don't do their homework as well as a team. It's so bad for the joy of the game, because the joy of the game is no more. Okay. All right, there's this one as well that says, hello, Nathan. I think it's a good start in the right direction, good formation and style of play. We just need certain good players in certain positions to protect the forwards. Very similar to Akaso. Jeffrey Schlupp, left back, is not too good as well. Jordan should be moved to the left wing and get a new striker. Okay, thank you very much. Foster from Dansuman. Thank you so much for that message. Okay, so this one says, good afternoon, Nat. We need to adopt a new formula of selection into the Black Stars, again, where majority of the players are selected from local teams and then spiced with good players from outside. The FA president is trying to promote his players. We should watch out for worse and more problems coming up with the new technical director. This is Eben. Eben, thank you. This is James inside Tema. Nat, yesterday's game was heartbreaking. This is the very first time that the coach had with the players, and he has a lot of work to do. We need our professional players as Kojo and Sule. This is just a friendly game, but you could see that there is no hope. We will achieve nothing with CK Akono in charge of the Black Stars. Full stop. Unless we stop the Ghanaian coach stuff, the football will not get us anywhere. Even if you give a French national team the World Cup holders to CK Akono to play the Africa Cup of Nations, they will not get anywhere. The players don't respect him. The solution is to get to a top coach to solicit corporate finance to pay him. That's the way forward. Please, let's stop the hypocrisy. This is from DJ Anderson in Tema. DJ Anderson, thank you very much. But next time when you are sending your message, leave out all of those words. I had to edit a bit. Yeah? Okay, very well. Please, Afo Wakaso, Duncan, Ajaman, Bedu aren't Black Stars materials anymore. However, Jonathan Mensah, John Boy, Christian Achu, Efri Aqua, Kwejo Asamoah as left back can only be looked at again. However, CK will come clean soon. Some of the players yesterday, the right back and the fair-colored man in midfield, Bernard Mensah, were very promising on the day. It's up to CK to bring on board Osman Bukari, Kwabena Owusu, Bernard Tekpete, etc. This is from Wilson in Capitol Hill. Thank you so much for all of these messages. Thanks so much to all of you for joining us from all over the world via My Joy Online TV. Happy blessed birthday to you, Dr. Amos Tete, from your wife Esther Jima Tete. She says, I will love you always. And this message is that the next 40 will be the best yet. Hey, to my big sister and my cousin Josephine Nate of Bank of Africa, Tema Main. Happy 40th birthday, Josephine Nate of Tema Main, Bank of Africa. Of course, this is especially coming from... she's actually my niece, It's coming from your mom, Agnes Wayo Mensah. Says, I love you to bits. You are her first daughter, Thanks to all of you for always listening to the Joy Sports Link, okay? And of course to you, Bernadette Dawson Amoa, thank you so much for doing the listening. The way you're shaking against the